After a time, you may find that having is not so pleasing a thing as wanting. It's not logical, but it's true.
You sound like Mr. Spock.
A quote from the episode Amok Time that Mr. Spock said toward the end of the episode. And kind of leads into what we're talking about today.
Yep. Today, we're busting the myth that passion just naturally dies in long-term relationship and there's nothing that you can do about it. We are the sexagenarian sages.
And we are here to bust those myths of sex and aging.
We've managed to rekindle the desire in our relationship.
We have. We got the fire going again.
Mm-hmm. We want to talk a little bit about the push-pull, I think it was, of love and desire. Would you like to take it away for the moment?
Yeah, I can do that. There's a certain push and pull or polarity between love and desire. Love seeks merging. Love seeks safety, comfort, security, an understanding that what you have is just always going to be there. And on kind of a darker side to it, or a little bit of a shadow around it, is it cultivates familiarity. It helps to cultivate boredom, sameness. You get where you start taking things for granted.
And I think there's even a balance in familiarity. Some familiarity is good. But when you get to that point where you're so familiar with your partner, that's when the numbness, boredom, and sameness starts to build in.
Right. So that's love. Before a relationship gets going, or even in those early stages, is desire. That fire, that wanting.
Can't keep your hands off of each other phase.
Longing, fantasy, a lot of the kind of fire of passion. It has you wanting. It has you going through this almost state of ongoing elusiveness. The person isn't quite with you, and you want them to be.
There's a little bit of uncertainty there as well. One of the things I've heard from some of our clients is, he treats me like a sure thing.
And in that state of desire, you're not a sure thing.
Yep. How do you get that back?
And there's a real hot side to that passion. It's where the eroticism exists. It's where the passion and desire are so strong. There's heat in the relationship. And how do you get that back?
Esther Perel has a book called Mating in Captivity, where she talks about the need for both safety and security and the need for passion and desire. And how do you balance that? Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Well, she has a quote that I like to use a lot. It's called fire, or it goes like this: fire needs air. In order for a fire to burn well, it has to have oxygen. It has to have air. If it doesn't have that, it dies.
It's smothered.
And so what is that air? What is that space? Well, we've touched a little bit on it for those elements of desire. There's some elusiveness, a little bit of mystery, a bit of the unknown and uncertainty. When those elements are still weaving in a relationship, you can have that desire. It's less comfortable. There's a little bit of discomfort there. There's a little bit of not knowing, but that also adds the mystery that's necessary for the desire. Now, how do we help clients rediscover that desire?
Well, we actually have a number of tools. I want to talk about our adventure dates today. Does that
Sure.
sound like a good one to talk about?
That's one of our tools.
First of all, we have date night. Every Friday night is set aside for just us. And it may be a simple date, just some simple quiet time at home, but sometimes one of us will plan a date for the other. And we make it a mystery because that's one of the elements of an adventure date. We give the other person clues. We may tell them what time to be someplace. We may give them a hint about what we're doing, but there's mystery in there. You want to talk about the obstacle portion?
Well, yeah, we'll put an obstacle in there because that obstacle also kind of adds to the charge, the uncertainty that leads to desire. It kind of leaves you a little bit on edge.
And it may push one of your own personal edges. For example, there was one adventure date that you took me out on where you made me put a blindfold on before we left the driveway. And when we got to the destination, I had to keep my blindfold on as he walked me from my car through the public into a building and go and talk to people while I'm still wearing my blindfold. And I'm busy thinking, oh my God, what are people gonna think? And you know what? It did add a little bit of charge and a little bit of excitement, and it was well enough within my comfort range that I could deal with it.
So that's one of our tools.
Well,
That's one of the things we use.
you didn't
I don't
make
want to
me-
go into all of it because I want them to be teased.
Yes, okay. So there's another element to the adventure date, and it's helpful to, at least at first, have somebody who knows how to work this, help you plan these adventure dates, and that's where we can help you.
We do that. So this is what we want to leave you with today. A relationship, a long-term relationship, does not have to lose that excitement, that feeling of desire. You can have it.
Yes.
And there are tools that you can learn to start to use to bring that fire back up.
You want to learn more? Get in touch with us. Our contact information is down below. You can email us. You can put a comment on here. Tell us, what is it that you're looking for? If nothing else, I'm going to let you say it. You always have to say this.
Subscribe.
Subscribe so you'll know when we put a new video out. But you don't have to just deal with the flatness, sameness, just because you've been together for years. There are ways to keep that fire going, and we can help you.
Fight the boredom. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next week.